In this short video, I'm going to introduce you to working with Google Drive. If you've never worked with it before, we're going to be relying heavily on this for class. I want to show you how to set things up. I'm going to go through kind of quick how I want you to set files up for this class. So let's get into it. You can use any browser to get into this. You can use Firefox or Internet Explorer, any of those. I find Firefox works the best if you're not going to use Chrome. When you get in there, you're going to sign in. So I just went to google.com, go to the sign in. I can put in my school sign in, my school login, and password. You have to do this twice. If you get to continue, just tell it to continue. The second time, you don't need your @bigspringsd.org. Put in my password, and it'll bring me to this screen, and it'll show me that I'm logged in as mmcvideo. When you're in this view, or when you're using a non-Chrome browser, you have this little grid. That's where your apps are, and you would just click on Drive. That gets you to Google Drive. I already have files set up, so you can already see that I have files set up in there, and everything that we do for the rest of this tutorial is going to look pretty much the same whether I'm in Chrome or not. When you're done, make sure you sign out, and you can that just keeps your account from being open and people being able to do things to your files. I'm actually going to go into Chrome now so that you can see this in Chrome. I'm running Chrome on a Mac. Chrome on a PC works the same. Working on a Chromebook, when you go to Google Docs or your Google Drive, it'll go to the same thing. You usually will start off with a window that looks something like this. I have a black theme on here, so that's why my screen is dark. Yours might be a different color. You're going to look for this little apps button. It looks very similar to the grid that you saw before, except it's in color. And this has a list of all of the programs that you have on your Chrome. Anything you set up on this Chrome will be set up on Chrome on PC, wherever you log in to your school account. Also, if you log into a Chromebook, all of these files get loaded into the Chromebook as well. So I'm going to look for that Google Drive app logo, click on it, and it brings me to Google Drive. Sometimes you have to log in a bunch of times with eChalk. You just sort of have to fight with it some days. Again, looks very similar whether I'm on Google or Google Chrome or if I'm on Firefox. But basically, let's take a look around. When you're out here in My Drive, you'll see that it just has this very short list here. I have my files that are in there listed. If you've never used it before, you have no files. If I hit create, it's going to create a file in My Drive. If I were to go into a folder, which I'll show you here in a minute, you'll create folders in there. So you guys should be setting up a folder. One of the first things we're going to do in class, that you're going to name it the quarter that you have this class. For this example, I'm going to do quarter 1. D photo space. Make sure you have these spaces. It just makes things more organized for me. And you need to tell me whether you're in photo 1 or 2, so I know. And then your last name first, and then your first name. You can use your short name or your long name. It doesn't matter. The last name is more important. Then you're going to click create. And that makes a folder. So there's my folder. If I want to make a folder inside that folder, I have to make sure that I'm clicked into that. And you'll see up here at the top that it goes to My Drive, and then it shows you the folder that you're in. It says I don't have any files there, which is great. I want to make a new folder. So again, I just go to the new folder. This one I'm going to call O1. And you can see I'm a great typer. When I hand out the file organization thing, you're going to see that files have a number in front of them. That's specifically to keep them in order. Again, it just makes it easier for me in seeing your files, and it keeps your stuff more organized. I'm going to make a second folder here just to show you that again. So go to new folder. I need to call this one O2. This will be for a composition class, or a composition activity that you guys do in class. Okay, so I have files in there. So that's creating files. So let's say I go in here and I'm getting real good at this, and I'm going and I make a folder, and I want this to be O1 Originals, but I realize oh shoot, I didn't want this in composition, I wanted it in the elements and principles. All I have to do is click on that and drag it over here to the left and into Elements and Principles, and it'll move it there. You can always move files. I can copy files. I can't copy folders. You can't make a copy of a folder and drag it someplace at this point, and that might change over time. So you would have to set up a new folder and then drag stuff into it. So that's creating files and folders, moving files and folders, and then, like I said, let's say I want to go in here and I need to make a Google Doc, which is Google's Word document. I just click on Google Doc. When it comes up over here on the left, I can change the title of it to whatever I want. This is Real Original. And you'll notice up here at the top, it'll say saving or all changes saved to the drive. As soon as you do something, it's automatically going to start saving it, which is kind of the beauty of Google Drive. It saves all the time. So it's not easy to lose stuff as you're working. Close out of that tab and you'll see that file is there. If I want to move it, I can move it into Originals just by dragging it. I can move it back out by dragging it back over here to the left. And there's my file. If I want to copy it, I click on the little box there to get the check. Come up here to more. You'll see there's a whole bunch of other things that you can do. You can rename it. You can move it to another folder. You can make a copy of it. You can also download it to your computer. The problem when you do a download is it's going to ask you to change it into a format like Word or rich text format, something like that, so that you can work with it on your computer. To trash something, I can either highlight it or drag it down to the trash. I can highlight it there and hit the little trash button. Everything goes into your trash. It's a good idea not to empty your trash because it holds on to stuff for you in case you make a mistake. It's always there. If you're running out of space, then you might need to delete some stuff out of your trash, but I'd leave your trash alone for now. Other than that, the only other thing that I need to show you is sharing a folder with me. Once you sort of have your folder set up for this class, you're going to end up finding the folder that you made. You're going to click on that, or you can right click. Or you can right click on it and you can choose share there, or if I've clicked on it, you'll see the little share guy shows up here. I just click on that. You invite people. So for me, you're going to put in McVitie. If you just start the McVitie, it will show up. Okay. And then you want to tell me that I can edit it. You can also change can view, which simply means that they can look at it, but they can't do anything with it. I need to be able to edit it because when we do get into critiques, I need to be able to put comments on it. You simply hit share and save. In this case, I'm not going to share it with myself. You hit share and save. It'll send me a link and it'll tell me that it's shared with me. It'll show up in this folder here. And then I'll be able to see your files and all of those things. So that's a quick intro to Google. If you ever need help with any of this stuff, you can always ask me. There's also help up here under the little gear. Google's pretty easy to figure out. If you have a question, you can Google how to do it in Google. So that's Google Drive.